Hey everyone, it is Larry here at LC Model Shipbuilding, and we're going to be going through quite a few parts today. We're going to be doing a review of the China 3D parts that have arrived. We're also going to be looking at the B&B Ship Jewelry, which are the props and drops. We're going to be looking at the printed pieces for the interior. And all of this is available on the Titanic Trumpeter model China 3D prints 1200/1350 sales and show only Facebook page. So there's a lot of individual pieces that we're going to kind of go through. I have already kind of broken down some of the boxes, so you're going to see me unwrapping some paper towels that I have them currently stored in. But I'll also show you a box or two of how they actually come, because they come very well packaged. In all of the orders they've had, they are saying that they've only had one or two actually damaged, and they have replaced them. So how they come packaged, very, very well. I've gone through mine 2 or 3 times now at this point, and nothing is damaged. So I'm very, very, very happy with it. The detail, as I'm going to show you, is super accurate and very, very well done. It really adds a level to the kit, well, to the model, that, I mean, it's pretty amazing, honestly. So we're going to go through it, take a look at it, and I'm going to be telling you a little bit about pieces as we go. One thing to note, China 3D does not know if these parts will combine with the Pontos, KA, MK1, the Hatchet or Agora model kit or add-ons. I do know that a new Hatchet and Agora Facebook page just went into action, so that one's kind of headed up by Mark Hendy, and I know him and Gene Davis are kind of working together to find some people willing to do some experimenting and find out if or find out what parts will work and make the modifications in order to make them work for future ones. So we'll talk a lot more as we're going throughout the video here, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first piece we're going to go ahead and look at, or pieces, these are the B&B ScaleshipJewelry, and these are the anchors right here in this bag. Obviously, they are not put together, painted yet, or anything like that. So they need to be put together. They are cast bronze. Trying to open it up here a second. Sorry about that. There we go. All right, so this includes all of the other anchors that are on the ship throughout. Basically, that then goes into here, and you have your anchor. That has to get clipped and cleaned up and all that good stuff, but really nice pieces. Hopefully the zoom in effect is coming in, but yeah, a little bit of cleanup will be needed, but not much. Next up in this little bag here, we have our props. So these are done by, like I said, B&B ScaleshipJewelry, and you get your 2 outer props as well as your center prop. Now, the center prop, you have your choice of either going with the 3 blade or the 4 blade. I plan on using the 3 blade, as I don't know, I know there's a lot of point of contention with that, but I do believe evidence shows that it was a 3-bladed prop in the center. And then you got your outer wing props, and you can see the rivets on them. I mean, they are really, really nicely done. We will have a video on drilling these out and tapping them so that they can go into the prop shafts. Because we will be making this model actually sail. But there they are. The other one looks just as good. So very nice pieces right here. Highly recommended. And again, you can get them on the Titanic Trumpeter model China 3D prints 1200/1350 sales and show only Facebook page. You have to be a member to order. go into the featured section, and that's where you will then find the products that are available. If they are still there, they are still for sale and available. So that's that. Now I'm going to take our first couple pieces here, and here we got some what do you call it, vents, cowl vents and straight vents, and just trying to get it in there so that you can see the detail on these. There's a lot of the support down here, not a big deal. That will be showing in future videos on how to cut that using a electric hot knife. And yeah, so that's some vents. Next up we have, I'm not going in any particular order, I'm actually just kind of grabbing parts as I see them. Okay, next up we have more vents. So you got some of the larger ones that go in front of the funnels, but again, the detail on them quite spectacular, and really done nice. The print is nice. Look at the grating right there. The grates are fantastic, so really nice quality pieces. All right, next up we have I believe these are B deck walls that go on the lower deck there. They just need to get split, and then one goes on each side. Got your windows, all that good stuff. And then you got your Hossy pipe pole. So there is that. And there, a little bit better angle. So you can see that. Okay. Next up, more vents. A few more. So there's a lot of vents. But these are pretty much the same sort of thing as what I just showed, so no need to reshow. All right. Next up, we have some of the fine deck pieces. You got some valve wheels right in here. Looks like these are telemeters for the bridge. Not 100% positive on that until I kind of break them away. Got some hatch covers, and these would be the covers that go on the back of the poop deck. So there they are. This looks like the one that goes up on the forecastle. And a lot of other random pieces for the decks are on here. So there you go. Trying to get it to zoom, or not zoom, but yeah. But that's those. All right, next up we have more vents. So that's another set, and again, very nicely done. The detail there, I mean, it's better than, way better than the kit, and in my opinion, way better than the KA set that I have currently. So that is them, and they look fantastic. All right, next up we have our bulkworks for the well decks, and there they are. Instead of pretty much a flat piece of plastic that the kit has, we have these, and again, they look great. So there they are. All right, our next piece, it's going to be more vents, it looks like. So I'm going to just show them both at the same time, but as you can see, there's more. All right, so that finishes up this box, and I'm going to go ahead and open our next one. All right, oh, and this one's a good example of how the stuff comes packaged. So there was actually a piece of foam here too, but I ended up taking it out. But we're going to just go through and show the funnels quick. So This will be funnel number 4 right here. Trying to zoom in, or not zoom in, but get it to focus in so you can actually see the rivets that are on here, but the detail for these are just fantastic. So as you can see, funnel number 4, you got some little hatch covers up here and whatnot that are in there. You got your whistles on there. They do not include the ladders just because they're too fine and would likely break off. So that will be used from the KA set. Not a big deal at all. Next up, you got funnel number 3, which you can always tell because of your rear pipes that are going into the engine upper room there. Again, though, you can see the rivet work on them. Trying to get a good angle. There we go. Yeah, you can see it there. There's a lot. Again, your whistle, and yeah, so there's that one. Funnel number 2. Again, basically the same scenario, just showing it since it's here. And they really do look fantastic. The funnels are highly worth the money. There we go. That's funnel number 1. So that one will sit right behind the bridge. And speaking of the bridge, oops, hold on, putting that in backwards. No, I was right. Speaking of the bridge, so here we have our bridge, and you can see the detail line right in here, where the metal would have overlapped. You can see your detail lines along the back here and your stanchions. Try to get that to focus. There we go. And you got your little step-up plate here that will be painted brown. You got your bridge wings over in here, and then you got your little doors that cover up your windows in the event of inclement weather. So going to be a lot of cutaway here. This one's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but again, with the electric hot knife, it should not be too big of a deal. We've just got to make sure we keep this intact as we're doing our cutting. So that will be more in the future, as it were. Okay, next up we have hatch covers. So these are our well deck hatch covers, both for fore and aft, and you can really see the detail along the sides there for clamping this down so that it would not be blown off in bad weather or rogue waves lapping up over the deck. But yeah, there they are. They're very nice pieces. I like them. Next up, I have both types of lifeboat davits to show. So this is the first type, and this is the more brittle of the resins that are used, but in any case, they are still really nice pieces. You can see the detail work in there. There we go. And yeah, they definitely are going to make the ship look quite a bit better. So, let me go ahead and get this one covered back up. And we'll move on to box number 3. Okay, also this one had a styrofoam piece over top of it, but I've been showing it to a couple people, and I got to put it back in. So these are our lifeboats. I'm not going to pull every single one of them out because they are essentially the same thing as we're going. You can see the planking detail on them. I ordered the covered ones because the lifeboats were covered up until the point of the sinking. So I prefer to have mine covered, as they would have been when the ship sailed out. The only lifeboats that are different, we got our collapsibles right in here, and our cutters. So that is the collapsibles and the cutters, these being the collapsibles, which they're upside down, if you didn't figure that out. And then you have your cutters here, which would have not been covered. They kept them open so that if somebody went overboard or there was any kind of emergency need, they could simply drop the boat and take care of whatever the issue was overboard and bring it back up. Okay, next up, we got our main hatch cover up on the forecastle, and that is a really nice piece. I've actually printed the one from Shapeways available on the Shapeways site, and this is far better. The detail is just fantastic on it, and it's very well made. So there's that. All right, next up, we have a bunch of bollards and capstans. So there's the capstans and bollards. At first, I was kind of debating whether I was going to use the KA brass ones that I have, but in order to save weight, this is the ticket. I am running these. I don't really see a need to use the brass because I'm going to end up kind of weathering it anyway, and it's not really going to need to look like brass. So this is the way I'm going, and they're going to help reduce some weight, so I'm happy with them. Next up, we got some winches on here. A lot of different winches, and again, you can see the detail on them. I know I've seen videos from Midwest and some of the other ones that they use the KA metal. These are going to be just as detailed, in my opinion, and a huge time saver. Rather than bending all that photo etch and trying to get it just right and gluing multiple small pieces together, I really like these. I think they're well done, very nicely printed. And really, I'm going to say the print across the board from China3D is fantastic. These are more deck bits, and you can see anchors in here. Obviously, I won't be using the anchors since I got the props and drops from B&B. You got your cross piece here that goes up on the front towards the forecastle there, and a lot of smaller pieces, deck bit wise, down here that I'm actually going to have to look at with a magnifying glass to figure out what some of them are. But again, just beautiful pieces, and they look really, really, really nice. All right, let me just cover them back up a little here. All right, next up we got our crane bases. And again, the detail is out of this world. You got door handle handles for the hatches on the doors. They are beautifully done, and only a couple of them, I believe, are going to need lighting put in them. A couple of them have lights that go right near the doorway, so we'll get them on. But they are hollow inside, so won't be a problem. Then we have our crane upper parts, and you can see the control levers that are inside here on the base, right in there. I'm trying to point to it without losing the focus as much as I can. Right in here, back here, right there, you have all the levers there to control it. And again, they would have been metal on the photo etch pieces, so I really think they look great. The detail is really fantastic, so I love them, and I think they're going to look great on the ship. Next up, we have more deck bits here. And again, it's covers and all that sort of stuff. Very similar to the same one that we looked at before. Last piece in this box is our anchor cranes. Not anchor cranes, anchor chains. And you can see the detail on these. They even have the cross piece in the chain link. I originally had bought the chain links on eBay, planning to use them, but I'm going to go with these. They just look superbly detailed. So there we go. A little bit better focus so you can see the detail. All right, I'm going to pause it 1 second before we move into the next one. Okay, next up, this is our this would be the well deck right here, and this is our what do they call it, a bulk work. You can see the detail on the rear. We would have a set of steps that comes up to here from the well deck, and this would basically sit directly 2 levels under the bridge. So that is a known area that was not done right by Trumpeter, and the detail here is just fantastic. You can see the little piping lines that kind of roll along the handrail. So very nice piece. Very excited with that. After that, we have our upper level one, which would go right above that. So kind of one of these deals once it's cut out. And then the bridge will be directly above here. You'll have your little stanchions that stick up, 3 of them, and then you'll have your bridge that rides right above there. So I'm trying to kind of give you the placement. But again, the rear detail, fantastic. Looks great. And yeah, very happy with them. So there they both are. Next up, we have a bunch of doors. So these are all doors to go on throughout the ship. And again, the detail on them, just perfect. We have our skylight dome, well, dome covers. So these are the little rooms that go above them. KA does offer these in photo etch. I'll be using the China3D just because it's going to be much easier to paint, spray, and basically be done with it. So there they are. These here are our cranes for our cargo cranes. So that's the booms for them. And again, the detail on them, you can kind of see the little hooks there, trying to get it on. But yeah, they look absolutely gorgeous. Again, this is going to save me weight on the model since it's going to be sailing. And here we have some lifeboat davits, and these are done with the flexible resin. So they also look great, and I like these a lot more than the metal ones. Well, the photo etch ones. When I did 1350 Titanic, I used the photo etch on them, and they were a real bear. So I'm happy to have the China 3D printed ones. All right, next up, these are our propeller wings, and you can see the plating on there, which looks great. And you can also see that they are hollow. That's also going to help me quite a bit when it comes down to running our prop shafts through here and getting this ship ready to sail. So again, you can see the quality and the detail on them, and they really, really, really look good. So that pretty much, aside from a couple little bits here and there, you got some cleats and whatnot, little stuff like that. That pretty much wraps up all of the China 3D pieces. And next up, we're going to kind of go in and show the what do you call it? The interior wallpapers and whatnot. So one thing I will say on the China 3D, as you've seen, I have quite a few of the pieces, if not almost all of them. There is no full kit that you can order. Every order is unique, so you have to order your individual order, and then you know, you have to order your first, if you're in the United States, you order your first 2 from the overseas link, which will then pay your shipping to bring it in stateside. And then every order after that, you order on the US link, and those parts will come in to Utah and be shipped out by Gene Davis. Oh, I don't think I showed these. So these are the masts. The KA kit includes the brass mast. I'm using these. They are significantly lighter, and they are going to do the job fantastically. They are more detailed than the brass ones as well. So we'll see all this in the coming videos as we get them cut and ready to use. You can see the crow's nest in here. So there that is. But anyway, back to the ordering piece. Like I said, you order your first 2 on the overseas link, and then you order anything beyond that on the US link so that they get shipped over to Gene, and then he, from there, will be able to send them out in combined shipping. Okay, before going back into the printed pieces that I have for the interior walls. Just want to cover also that parts are updated all the time. So new parts get added and they'll be available. So again, that's another reason why they don't do a full package, because no order has been the same really ever. Every customer gets something different in most cases. If you do order, please make sure you double check your address. PayPal sometimes holds on to old addresses. I found that one out. Also, check your phone number. They do need your phone number, not to call you, but to ensure that when it is shipped, when you're going international shipping, it is required to have a phone number for what is being shipped. So, like I said, nobody's going to call you or anything like that. They're not selling you for spam, but they want to ensure that they are able to get you your parts that you are ordering in a timely, quick manner. So, again, address, phone number, make sure that's right. Finally, make sure that you remember that China does still have periodic lockdowns due to COVID. So do some other countries. So not every order all the time is able to get shipped right when they would like to ship it due to lockdowns. And unfortunately, they are still a reality. So it's something to be conscious of as you're ordering. Trying to think what else I need to cover for customers so they know what to expect and what to get. Parts are made basically as needed. So there is not a stockpile. There's not a warehouse sitting here in the country. There's one person that does the customer service work. So if a piece does, on the really small chance, come in broken, and like I said, they've only had 2 of those over the years here so far. 2 that have been broken, they will get shipped out from the U.S. He does have a small staple supply in order to maintain customer service pieces, I guess you would say. And yeah, everything else is printed to order. So yeah, you really have to expect that when you're ordering it, it is going to be, a little bit of time in order to make sure that your part gets shipped and sent and all that good stuff. Let's see, we're going to move over into the printed pieces now. So let me flip the camera back. Okay, so first up we got our printed glass, where you can see a lot of our window transparencies. They get obviously glued in where the glass window frames would be, and they kind of fill them in. So they are really nice, and I'm very happy to have those. Next up, we kind of get into our flooring. So this obviously is grand staircase flooring, and you got your hallways back in here that go behind the grand staircase, and there would also be, I believe, 2 hallways going down, so where they're visible, you'll be able to see them. But that's grand staircase. Next up, we have our second-class smoking room flooring, and as you can see, flooring is a large enough piece that you'll be able to cut down to your size. And I will mention also, while we're talking about it, this stuff is put onto a sticky paper. Just trying to pull it apart real quick so you can see it. And then you can just stick it simply down to the plastic on the floor, and it will stick. So there's that. The next piece we have is a veranda cafe. So I'm trying to get them close enough and slow enough that you can actually see the detail work in them. So this is veranda cafe and palm court. Next up, you have grand staircase and reception tiling. So out on B deck, like when you're entering the grand staircase, this would be the tile that would go there. And again, the detail work in there is just fantastic. Tile on Titanic was actually linoleum, which back then was apparently extremely expensive. I've actually read that the tiling in that grand staircase was pretty much the most expensive part of that grand staircase. This is the second and third class green tile, and they would be just kind of used in multiple different rooms. They also had a red tile for second and third class areas. And we have second and third class black tile, black and white. So there that is. All right, next up we have our first class dining saloon. And again, you can see the detail there. It is really nice. Next up we have our first class lounge flooring, which I believe was carpet, I'm pretty sure. So that would be the carpet. Next room would be our reading and writing room, and that's kind of a mauve color. So there you go with that. Next up is the gymnasium flooring. There you go. You can kind of see that. Looks good. Next up we have our smoking room, which again kind of looks like I think that is a tile actually. Just kind of going by it, what it's supposed to be anyway. And we have our second class smoking room. I think I actually already showed that, so I grabbed it again. Sorry about that, but very detailed. And we have our a la carte cafe restaurant and aft grand staircase carpeting. Well, not. Yeah. All right. Well, there's that. All right. Let me pause it a second. Okay, so here we have our interior walls. As you can see, you got your veranda cafe, your palm court, you got dining areas, you got your grand staircase areas. I'm going to be using this, and I'm also going to be using a combination of woodies, but I do really like it. It's going to save time with painting, and the print is very, very fine and well done. So that is everything from the printed aspect. Okay, another set of products here is the Utley's portholes. Very nice, fine photo etch. And they include your window portholes here, which are great because they will help to kind of deflect the light from inside. I was originally planning on using fiber optic, but these will do the trick, and I like them. They also come with some doors in here. I got 2 sets just in case I break anything, but there they are, and I really like them. So they look great, and I'm happy with them. Okay, so that is everything. That basically is all of my aftermarket parts that I have for Titanic. The only other piece that I have that I did not show is the prop shafts, and I showed the motors in one of the earlier videos that I had done. But the prop shafts and the rudder, they are on their way here. I bought them on the eBay site, so if you simply type in 1-200 Titanic propeller conversion or something along those lines, it will come up for you. All of the products that I showed in today's video, though, are available, like I said, at Titanic Trumpeter Model China3D prints, 1-200, 1-350 sales and show only. Remember, when you're ordering, that you have to have your updated phone number, updated address. Remember, you pay all of your own shipping costs, so when you order your first 2 items, you have to order them on the international site, and then the following orders, and this is if you're in the US, the following orders you order on the United States site, they will all get sent to Utah, where they'll then be split up and sent out individually to each customer. So anyway, I hope that helps, and thank you very much. Thank you, Gene Davis. A huge shout out to Gene for all of his time and effort that he puts in on making sure people get their parts that they're looking for. Really excited to start the build. We're getting close. I think we're down to about 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll be underway. So get ready to come back to Titanic. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've subscribed by now so you get our updates and all that good stuff when the ship goes live. We'll see you later. Thanks.